Under fire after a scathing report alleges that the agency misled the public on its interrogation tactics. Joining us now to weigh in, Judge Andrew Napolitano, Fox News senior judicial analyst and author of Suicide Pact. Judge, thanks for being here.
Good to be with you, Elizabeth.
You know, when you look at the timing of this report and the interrogation methods that were used, and the report itself, so you have, almost 600 pages. You read them all?
Yes.
Does it concern you, though, just to start, that the accounts of the top CIA officials involved were not included in that?
It does. It does concern me. According to, and it's a defect in the report, according to Senator Feinstein's explanation the other day on the floor of the Senate, the Justice Department told the senior people, formerly senior in the CIA, they're not there anymore, that they should not speak to the Senate investigators until the Justice Department investigation was over. Well, the Justice Department investigation has been over for a while.
Right.
But what does inform the report is the emails, the footnoted emails. Everything in those 500 pages are footnoted with documents that substantiate what was said. So for somebody to say the report is hooey, or to use even a stronger terminology, is their emotional reaction to the report rather than their intellectual analysis of it.
By someone, do you mean former Vice President Dick Cheney? Listen to his hooey comment.
The terrorists were not covered by the Geneva Convention. They were unlawful combatants, and under those circumstances, they were not entitled to the normal kinds of courtesies and treatment you would accord to those.
Now, I understand the reason why he said that. Okay. What he's saying is what he wishes the law would be. But 5 Supreme Court opinions have disagreed with that. And of course, the Supreme Court has the final word on the meaning of the Constitution and the meaning of the laws, and they've all said that the people at Guantanamo Bay and the people confined elsewhere, and by the way, the torture we're talking about
are protected by the Geneva?
Are protected by the Geneva Conventions, absolutely. The Vice President is saying what he wants the law to be, not what the Supreme Court has said it is. And to make it clear, this torture did not occur in the United States, and it did not occur at Guantanamo Bay. It occurred at various places, the identity of which has not been made known to us throughout the world.
Undeniable to some that the interrogation techniques did produce valuable results that we've not had an attack for 13 years.
That's the kicker here, and that's really what has Vice President Cheney and a lot of others so upset, is the conclusion here, out of the mouths of CIA agents,
yes,
not out of the mouths of politicians or senators, but out of the mouths of former CIA agents who participated in this, that they did not get anything valuable from these people, that the information that they obtained to find Osama bin Laden, for example, did not come as a result of the torture.
Right, and so
that makes it, very controversial.
You know, we've asked our viewers, we really value what they think, of course, and so we've asked them to tweet us some questions, email us some questions. Here's one from Lloyd. It's amazing how quickly people forget what happened on 9/11. Harsh interrogation was needed to locate our enemies.
That
KSM was found.
That view is a view shared by a lot of people, and this report contradicts it.
Okay. Well, this is another one from Pam. So a drone that kills and has collateral damage is better than waterboarding to keep the United States safe?
That is another very controversial issue, because the same president of the United States who says he can rewrite immigration laws on his own also says he can kill people with drones, even Americans who've not been charged with a crime. So I understand the bit of sarcasm in that email, and I understand her concern. But to suggest that killing people with drones is better than torture? No, they're both unlawful.
Well, in one you can at least get some information out of, and the other you can't. They're dead.
But the Constitution governs what the government does, wherever it goes. And the Constitution says you have to follow due process.
Okay.
And due process means you got to follow the rules. You can't just abuse somebody and torture them because you have control over their body. That's the law. Now, if
you take off your legal hat.
If the government wants to change the law and be open and candid about it and say, whenever we catch you, we're going to torture you, then they ought to put that in the law instead of pretending they obey a law that they don't actually obey.
Well, waterboarding was one of those that was yet to be determined, right, in terms of torture.
Anybody that thinks that waterboarding is not torture should try it. Who said that to me? Steve Harrigan, one of our colleagues, who was waterboarded intentionally to see what it was like.
Always great.
What a pleasure. What a pleasure.